Life, in general, as we know it, requires three things: liquid water, chemical building blocks like carbon, hydrogen and nitrogen, and also energy sources. Now we talk about life on Jupiter. Welcome back on the Space Info podcast. Here we talk about space and everything related to it. If you are passionate about space, astronomy, technology and everything about it, you can join all our social platforms at the Space Info Club or our website at www.spaceinfo.club, where tons of content and a community of experts are there waiting for you. This is the Space Info Club. Welcome back on the Space Info Club YouTube channel. Welcome here. Today we talk about 8 things to know about NASA's mission to ocean moon of Jupiter. We are talking about NASA Clipper mission, which is going to be launched this October, in particular the 10th of October 2024, and the target is Europa, the moon of Jupiter, which is believed to have a subsurface ocean, and maybe life is existing on this planet. Life is a very big word for this topic. We are going to investigate the conditions for life to exist over there, and maybe you're wondering why. Also thinking about missions like ESA's JUICE mission, which is going to investigate also the icy moons of Jupiter, which have been launched this year, some months ago. Maybe you're wondering why we are so stubborn in going on around Jupiter, studying the conditions which are there. One of the reasons why we're going to study Jupiter so hard is the potential for extraterrestrial life. First of all, we are talking about subsurface oceans, and moons like Europa and Ganymede are believed to have vast oceans beneath the icy surface. These oceans contain more water than all of Earth's oceans combined, making them prime candidates for hosting microbial life, or maybe some more complex form of them. And also, as said in the introduction, the condition for life as we know it are basically 3. One is liquid water, the second one is chemical building blocks, and I'm talking about elements like carbon, hydrogen and nitrogen, at least from a strict chemical point of view, and then energy sources. These moons have at least 2 of these. I'm talking about water and also right chemistry, so carbon, hydrogen and nitrogen. It might also have energy sources from interaction with Jupiter's gravity and what's called tidal heating. Maybe you don't know that on the surface of this giant gaseous planet, the heat is coming from inside, and the amount of this form of energy coming from inside the planet is bigger than the one coming from outside. I'd like to let you know that I'm going to analyze this amazing article from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which has came out these days, particularly September the 17th, 2024, and I'm going to give you some insights, and I would like to develop a very interesting discussion with you. So please write down in the comment what you think about what I'm saying, if you would like to add more, or if you know something, if you have some information about, and you'd like me to make a video next time. I was saying that the amount of heat coming from the inside of this giant and so mysterious planet is greater than the heat coming from outside, and particularly from the sun. If you think about our home planet, Earth, the majority of the heat is coming from outside of our planet. I'm not talking about solar radiation. The inside, the inner layers of Earth are for sure hotter than what's on the surface. However, the amount of heat coming from the inside is smaller from what the sun can give us. So this is why this is one of the conditions why Earth is inhabited and there is life basically on our planet. You can experience directly that on a sunny day or during the daylight you are receiving heat from the sky where the sun is actually, but on Jupiter the gravitational attraction is so strong, and also the chemical reaction happening inside, mainly due to the huge amount of pressure inside of this planet, are so strong that the chemical reaction happening over there are generating heat. So basically what's happening below the surface is giving you more heat than what's happening outside of the planet. This is called tidal heating. So another condition is habitable environment. So by studying the moons, we hope to understand whether the environments have the necessary condition to support life, well, or maybe they have supported it in the past. So well, this is very important, and so these are some of the reason. I'm going to let you know more reason in the coming minutes of this video why we are going to study Jupiter so hard. So first of the thing is that Europa is one of the most promising places to look for currently habitable condition beyond Earth. So for the reason I've said just now, well, another one is that we want to deeper understand ocean worlds. These are sort of extreme environments, and these moons represent a category of ocean world that are covered with ice, but also have liquid oceans beneath the surface. And learning how oceans can exist and also function, the dynamics over there under extreme conditions, could provide insights into the habitability throughout the cosmos. And now, well, that's useless to say that also understanding this kind of dynamics will for sure and directly help us understanding what's happening also on our own planet. And so here again, some amazing and huge promising benefits from space for life on Earth here. And also, astrobiology is another topic into the discussion, because investigating these deep oceans offer a chance to study life and also environments completely different from our home planet surface, which could redefine completely our understanding of where life can exist. But now, before going on, I would like to give you some insights of this specific mission before going on talking about extraterrestrial life inside our solar system. So, first of all, the mission objective is investigating Europa, which, as said, is one of Jupiter's moon, and to determine the potential for supporting life. The launch date, for someone who wasn't listening at the beginning, is planned for October 2024, and the best candidate day is the 10th of October. The target is Europa, which is again the moon of Jupiter, and is believed to have a subsurface of oceans and icy basically covered by icy water on the surface. And the main goal is exploring whether Europa's oceans has the right condition for life by studying its ice shell, the chemistry, and also the geology. So, but how are you going to study this environment? Well, the instruments on board are 9 scientific instruments in number, and they include cameras, spectrometers, and also radar to study Europa's ice and subsurface. So yeah, as said, the surface is covered basically by ice, but we want to know what's beyond it, and maybe we'll find some kind of surprises. And well, also the spacecraft will perform multiple flybys, something like 50 flybys of Europa while orbiting Jupiter. Well, as we discussed in previous videos, flybys are a very efficient way to save fuel of your spacecraft, and so with a very same amount of fuel you can reach farther and farther distances. Well, it would be basically impossible to carry all the required amount of fuel on board your spacecraft to travel such basically huge distances from Earth to Jupiter. So that's why you need flybys with other planets. We have talked about this in the video you can find in the description, which was the video about JUICE mission by European Space Agency, basically reaching similar destination in distances, well, with similar dynamics, so using flybys to make the travel more efficient, use less fuel, save the fuel for elongating the whole mission. So that's the very same thing we're going to see here, and also the final flybys to Europa herself basically will be used to have greater chances, more and more chances to study the moon itself. So we are expecting to discover, or at least to verify if the thickness of the ice crust is thin enough or how thick it is, if there are water plumes, and also mapping the surface for future landing missions. I'm not strictly talking about manned mission, but for sure sending rovers over there will be a giant and amazing opportunity to further study the moon. So also another thing which is special for this mission is the propulsion system, and also the I would say the vector which will be used for the mission. So the spacecraft will be launched via a SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket. So again, this amazing private company is again part of the whole space game nowadays. The duration of the whole mission, well, after the launch, the spacecraft will take maybe something like 6 years to reach Jupiter, arriving around 2030, with very similar times of the JUICE mission by the European Space Agency. The meaning basically of the whole mission is studying the subsurface ocean of the Europa moon of Jupiter, which is considered one of the most likely places to find extraterrestrial life in our solar system. So we were talking about the origin also of the solar system, and well, the clues to solar system formation are about Jupiter's moon, which have remained relatively unchanged since early solar system, and they offer valuable information about its formation. And understanding their geological features, also the water content and also the evolution they have experienced, can provide a window into the history of our solar system. Also, we have the opportunity to compare planetary bodies of our solar system by studying these moons, which can also offer comparison to icy worlds in other solar systems that we are maybe observing via the James Webb Space Telescope, for example, or we are going to plan to observe in the future for future space telescopes. And also, by instance, I strongly invite you to go and look for our articles talking about the search for extraterrestrial life. You can see here our website that you can find at www.spaceinfo.club, where a lot of content which I want to underline is completely free. You just have to join, and only your email is required, and then you can access for sure completely free content. You have a lot of interviews, a lot of content by experts of the field, people who work for NASA, for the European Space Agency, so they are the goats of their field. So they for sure know what they're talking about. You can also find a lot of educational content, a lot of events, and also our partners, which I strongly encourage you to give a look about. And also, last but not least, I invite you to give a look to our latest events, which is the New Worlds event. We are partnering with them, and that's an event which will be held in Houston this November 2024, the 1st and the 2nd of November. And well, I just tell you that Jeff Bezos, Jared Isaacman, well, maybe you've seen him in the last few days on board the SpaceX Polaris Dawn mission, and also people like Buzz Aldrin, all those three and more others were among the guests of this event. You can find more than 400 space experts, something like 50 space speakers this year. Well, there will be a huge event, an amazing one to talk about space. So if you're passionate, give a look at our website, reach out on our socials for a special discount for the tickets. Well, that will be amazing. So again, we are talking about the journey to Jupiter. As said, it will require something like 5.5-6 years, and then the institutions across the US and Europe also contributed to the mission itself. Well, the preparation also included robotic exploration and also the expanding the habitable zones. Well, missions like Europa Clipper are the precursor to potential future landers, or even also, well, human mission. For sure, these last ones will be very far in the future, but we cannot say what will happen by discovering what's happening over there, and by better understanding the geology, the surface composition, and also the environment, we can for sure assess the feasibility of sending probes to drill into Europa's ice, or future missions to explore beneath the surface. Now we're getting closer to the moon, coming back to the moon, and also establishing our outpost over there. So we have to keep looking for the stars and keep looking also for other moons. And traditionally, scientists have believed that life could not exist in the habitable zone near the star. So discovering life on Jupiter's moon would expand our understanding of where life could thrive in the universe, and also extending the possibility to moons or planets farther from the stars. Then, what we have to say as a closing clue, well, scientific curiosity is again at the very base of our understanding and our exploration. We are humans, we are here for this. Well, answer the questions. For example, Europa's surface shows signs of dynamic geological activity and also ice movement, cracks, and possible water plumes. And that's what we're going to look for to understand also the dynamic of a very alive system. We're not going to look for life as we usually mean it, but also for the dynamics of something which is very far from our planet. We are very curious about this thing. Exploring these features could also explain unknown processes. We think to know something of our own planet, but there are a lot of things we still don't know about the universe, but also about Earth. So something like the interaction between the moon's surface and its subsurface could also help us understand what's happening on our own moon. So even though the environment is very different, but we have to understand the dynamics of a very would like to say strange, but different what we are used to environment. So also advancing planetary science is maybe one of the main goals of the research that will also advance planetary science and also biology as a whole, including the understanding of ice-covered worlds, magnetic fields, and also the dynamic of giant planets like Jupiter. So that's all for today. I hope that you enjoyed this talk about NASA Clipper mission. You have dreamed like me about Jupiter and traveling into space. I hope that I helped you understanding better what's happening in this amazing space mission. If you'd like to add something, let me know in the comments, and particularly let me know if you have come up to this point of the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.